everyone, so we finished Surah Mu'minun, but now what we need to do is something even more important, and that is to revise. And the revision sessions will be focused on increasing our speed of comprehension so that we can understand the Quran while it's being recited. Because at this point, you might find that you do understand a verse, but it takes so long and you have to pause a lot and break down the words. So, if you want to actually increase that speed, then these revision sessions are an absolute must. So in the last video, I introduced what I call the falling brick method. So if you haven't watched that video, I recommend you do, because in these sessions now we're going to put that method into practice. And in a nutshell, what it is you have to learn how to pick out keywords in a verse, and using those keywords, you can actually recognize and realize what the whole verse means. So it just increases your speed because then your brain is being trained to pick out just those keywords. So it's a really great method, and it will help you a lot at this stage when you're just learning how to break down words and understand the meaning. So definitely watch these revision sessions. They're absolutely essential, and keep revising on your own as well. So what I'll do now is I will play each of the verses, and while it's being recited, try and see if you can actually understand it. So yeah, keep watching and see how much you can actually understand while it's being played.
قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون.
So got that while it was being recited. So you can read it while it's being recited, because initially it is really hard if you just listen and you don't read it to figure it out because you don't know the word. So looking at the word helps you to like pick out the root word much more quickly than just hearing it. So did you get that, like while they were reciting الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون?
Yeah, I kind of have to look at it, like
Yeah,
read it.
definitely look at it.
Yeah.
And so, for example, like I remember when this is being read really fast, so my brain almost skips the الذين هم في, and it just picks out like صلاتهم خاشعون, and so then I know, okay, المؤمنون صلاتهم خاشعون, then the next one is
والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون.
with this one, for example, even if you just pick out Allahu, then you know, okay, it's being talked about those who don't do Allahu and the idle talk. So like that's I think I was explaining to Berivan last time, it's like the sentence with the words are bricks, and some of the bricks will drop because it's being recited really fast, so you won't be able to comprehend each word consciously. But if you can pick out some words and then just know what's being talked about, even with a few words now, then that's good, like enough for this stage at least.
والذين هم للزكاة فاعلون.
Then obviously, like here, like keyword would be zakat, and fa'ilun, something like you might not be able to that quickly pick it out and be like, oh, it's from fa'al and fa'al is doing, etc., etc. So you get the point, like the idea.
والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين.
Was that good for both?
فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون.
So what would be like the keywords here? It could be different for different people anyway. How about you, Ivan? What?
I just like ibtigha, I had to look at it. I was like, okay, I remember. And then, and wara, like those who seek speaks beyond this. It's just for me, like the first 2 pages, especially the first page, it sits so well. Like I just know the whole translation. Just
Good.
later on, it just messes my mind up. It's like
That's
I'm like,
that's great progress.
so Alhamdulillah, I'm really like, yay, I'm kind of understanding
Cool.
almost everything.
Nice, very nice. For
Alhamdulillah. It's
me,
just
with
later on, I don't know what happens later on. The verse
it's
is just,
okay. It's like, you know, that's the point of revision anyway.
yeah.
So how about you, Awa? Like when it's being recited, are you comprehending it simultaneously? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I guess with this one, so because like with the, I think it, I first, like when I heard the wara dariga, that's when I remembered it's like they go beyond, and then I was like, oh yeah, I actually know what ibtira also means. So
Good, good. Yeah, that's exactly like how it works, like the process. So that's good.
والذين هم لأماناتهم وعهدهم راعون.
Good, this one.
Yeah. Is it like cheating in my mind if I kind of know, like, because I know like the first page is like, even if you forget the words, oh, okay, this, because it's the first page, kind of what it's about. You see my point? Is that kind of, because I
No,
think
that
that
is
might be the thing.
exactly what this course is about, is that we're gonna use like different methods, but what is the main goal is to understand the meaning, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not,
Because if
we're not
ibtigha came
Arabic.
in another ayah, maybe, then I
Yeah.
wouldn't remember.
Yeah, exactly. But when you see it so many times, then you would eventually.
Okay.
Like
Tamam.
your brain would. So that's amazing, mashallah. That's like exactly what I would want. I would
Okay,
hope this
perfect.
happening. Yeah, yeah, honestly.
Alhamdulillah.
Because again, like just to remind, like the Arabic is not the goal here, right? It's the meaning. So whatever helps us understand the meaning, that's great, you know?
Tamam.
والذين هم على صلواتهم يحافظون أولئك هم الوارثون.
So sometimes when this being recited, "Ulaika humul warithun," like if I'm not paying that much attention, it'll be like, oh, what does that mean? But then you can also go back in your mind, so make sense of the previous verse based on maybe the next verse. So for this one, always number 11, the next verse reminds me of, oh, okay, that was the warithun from the previous, because the next verse explains it. Listen.
الذين يرثون الفردوس هم فيها خالدون.
Makes sense. So that then tells you,
Wow, this
oh,
is
well,
the
warithun
same.
was, yeah, the inheritors, that means, you know? And that's fine. You still got the meaning of the first verse, even though it's been recited.
ولقد خلقنا الإنسان من سلالة من طين.
Good. Keyword here would be خلقنا الإنسان and طين. Pretty much guess what it is about.
ثم جعلناه نطفة في قرار مكين.
So this one, which one stands out more to you guys? The nutfa or the qarar makin?
Multifa. It's
Okay.
more like
Creation. Yeah.
ثم خلقنا النطفة علقة فخلقنا العلقة مضغة فخلقنا المضغة عظاما فكسونا العظام لحما ثم أنشأناه خلقا آخر فتبارك الله أحسن الخالقين. ثم
Oops, sorry. How is this? This was long.
oh my God,
What?
understanding
Yay!
while he's reciting, like better than before, at least. Alhamdulillah, ya Rabbi. Allahumma barik.
You know, for me, for example, when I was reading this, I got confused. I was like, "Oh, mudgha, is that bones or flesh?"
Yeah.
And the next one it said فَخَلَقْنَا الْمُضْغَةَ عِظَامًا, and I was like, "Oh yeah, عِظَام are bones." So it's like, okay, the nutfa into flesh, and then the flesh and the bones, and then فَكَسَوْنَا الْعِظَامَ لَحْمًا, like the bones were then coated with more flesh, and then ثُمَّ أَنشَأْنَاهُ خَلْقًا آخَر, and then the last like phrase فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ, that's easier to understand.
إنكم بعد ذلك لميتون ثم إنكم يوم القيامة تبعثون.
How's that? تبعثون. Easy to pick out?
Sorry?
تبعثون, was that easy to like grasp quickly?
Yeah.
Very good. You're doing better than I expected you both.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Because at this point I would expect like okay, you die إنكم بعد ذلك لميتون, death, and then after that you would look at يوم القيامة and then think, oh okay, then it's talking about يوم القيامة, but you guys actually picked out the harder word, which is تبعثون. Very good.
ولقد خلقنا فوقكم سبع طرائق وما كنا عن الخلق غافلين.
How about this one? This one's a bit poetic.
Yeah, that was a bit tricky for me. Like the first part I got وما كنا.
سبع طرائق.
Yeah. Okay, now I see وما كنا عن الخلق غافلين. I'm just okay. Okay.
So maybe like write it
Still,
down, or like
still like
put a star next to it or something, which means like you can come back to this one later and just read it and see if then the next time you understand it better.
oh yeah, okay, I should note it down.
No, or maybe think about the keywords here would be so wama kunna. I guess with this one you sort of have to catch the wama kunna really quickly, because that's like the no is coming first, the negation is coming first, because if you only focus on the anil khalqi ghafilin, then unless you remember that the meaning was okay, he won't be neglectful, ghafil of the khalq, then it might be hard. But just now, because we've discussed it, you will remember better next time, I'm pretty sure. Right, so that was a revision session. Now you know how you need to be revising on your own as well. And honestly, the more you revise, the quicker you'll learn. So it's essentially the speed with which you understand the Quran is up to you, because the more you're able to revise, the more you're able to put these skills that I've taught you in practice, then the quicker you will learn, inshallah.